doing? This coffee break with Jimmy. Yesterday, I listened to the debate for the California governor, and who was there was Steve Hilton, Chad Bianco for Republicans. Then they had this Mahan. Matt Mahan used to be the governor, not the governor, excuse me. He was a mayor for San Jose. Then, of course, you had that Tom Steyer, the billionaire. Katie Porter, she used to be an Orange County representative for Orange County. And then Javier Becerra, which was an attorney general of the state of California at one time. Steve Hilton, he was a Fox News contributor. He came from Britain, and he's been involved in government in Britain and in the United States in leadership roles there. And then you have Chad Bianco, was the sheriff of Riverside of San Bernardino County. Anyhow, they had a debate, and they went on. I caught the debate. I didn't realize it was on. I caught the debate, but it was about halfway through. So when I caught it, they had posed a question to the candidates that if they had if anyone that was getting a driver's license for the DOT for driving semi-trucks, if they were required to speak English, and if they could read the road signs. And I think that's pretty simple, actually. You should be able to read the road signs. I mean, that's English, right? So you should be able to speak English. And I guess that should be a requirement for them to pass a DOT test. And I think it is a requirement. But whenever they ask the questions, they would say pretty much the same thing. Well, the DMV has the programs and the tests in order for them to take. And DMV will take care of that. Well, DMV apparently wasn't taking care of. These guys are given licenses by the state of California without even taking tests. In fact, some of them, like I said, they never took a DOT test. They couldn't speak English. They couldn't read the signs. There was a lot of accidents that caused that. Anyway, they asked all the Democrats this, and they all said pretty much the same thing. Without getting into great detail, but they all did say the same thing about Donald Trump. We have to stop Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump isn't on the ticket, okay? Of course, they feel like they have to stop Donald Trump because these blue cities and blue states, sanctuary cities and states, they have ICE agents that are federal agents that come and they get rid of or catch the illegal aliens and they deport them. They're after the ones that have committed high crimes, okay, high crimes and misdemeanors, I guess. They have to look at these guys. If they commit a crime, they need to either be deported or put in jail, one or the other. But this is a big part of the voting bloc for the Democrat Party. Now, I'm not saying the Democrats by themselves. The Democrats are the Democrat people, the individuals. They don't feel this way. I don't believe they want any of this. But their leadership, Chuck Schumer, they all. They're keeping the country. It's not fully funded. They're not opening that up until they do something about ICE. When actually Donald Trump he got rid of the DHS secretary and Kristi Noem, and he appointed somebody else. And Chad Holmgren. Well, that he was doing a good work for Donald Trump. And he put him in charge. It's Tom Holmgren and Tom Holman rather. And so he was doing his part to try to reform ICE, I guess. But the ICE agents, the federal agents, they've been doing a good job, and they've been getting rid of a lot of the bad characters, a lot of the bad players here that came here illegally. So, but this is what they want more than anything. Especially, you could tell by that debate that went on yesterday. This is what they want more than anything, to stop Donald Trump. Well, come on, guys. We want some plans. We want some ideas. We want some policies that will help California get out of the hole they're in. That the Democrat Party in California has put us in this hole. You know, they're like the Nick Shirley thing. Now they're saying that they can't do any this journalism that Nick Shirley does and others that are private journalists that are going out and exposing all the fraud, when they're saying that the fraud doesn't exist. But now what Nick Shirley exposed it, now our Attorney General, let me see, what was his name? And his wife is Mia. What was his name? This Rob Bonta. He's a Lieutenant Attorney General for the state of California. Now he says they've been on this for at least 50 years. And 50 years you haven't solved the problem yet of this fraud? And this Mia Bonta, his wife, she's in the state assembly, and now she's pushing a bill saying that this journalism can't be. I mean, this actually, it affects your First Amendment, your right to find things out, to freedom of speech, but this journalism, they're not going to allow this. They're trying not to. But there's so many things. I mean, you could talk about where they're doing this amnesty for the Haitians. You know, the Haitians, well, they were given asylum to come here during the Biden administration, but now they want to give them amnesty. So they're trying to push that issue for more votes, okay? Virginia, they're gerrymandering in Virginia. They were setting it up to where there's 11 seats in the House. Well, if they set it up the way they want to, and this has something to do with Arlington, okay? I'll say there's a judge that stopped this gerrymandering here in the state of Virginia, and it apparently Arlington is the catalyst, the center of where this gerrymandering is going to be. It is going to eliminate. They're going to have the 11 seats in the House of Representatives. The Democrats are going to get 10, and the Republicans are going to get 1. When it used to be 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans, which is kind of coincides with the state, because the state is a purple state, but is largely in part more Democrat because it's right there next to Washington D.C. There's a Democrat stronghold there, especially in Arlington. So I mean, they're trying. The Democrats are doing everything they can. Chuck Schumer's doing everything he can to stop the Save America Act. They need to vote on that. The Save America Act, if you got to get rid of the filibuster, well, then you got to get rid of the filibuster. They got to do something to where they can actually get the Save America Act passed, okay? And the Senate is working on it right now, and I think the only way really is to get rid of the filibuster, because if we don't get this act passed, and this is legal right to vote, legal right to vote. You got to have proper identification to vote legally, okay? And that's what the Save America Act is all about. And that's what the leadership, Chuck Schumer and his cronies, want to stop, okay? And they're saying, well, they're going to hold up, part of funding, America. So anyhow, it's all about voting. It's all about getting the votes out. Talked about the Haitians. I talked about Virginia, California, and this gerrymandering. Apparently, they got to do a recount in San Bernardino, and Sheriff what the heck's his name? I just said his name. Bianco. He's got to do the recount in San Bernardino, okay? Because Chad Bianco, he's the sheriff there, so he has to do the recount. And apparently there's more people that voted in San Bernardino than actually live there or are allowed to vote. So, but this is all about voting. This is all about getting the votes out for the Democrat Party so they can win the House of Representatives, so they can win the Senate. That's what they're going to try to do. And if they, in fact, do that, they're going to impeach Trump right away. That's what they want to do. They want to get rid of Trump. And I think that's what the California governors, a debate that they had, I think that's what they were talking about by and large. So anyway, that's pretty much the Democrats' mantra, is to get as many fake votes they can. They want to harvest votes in California. They do a lot of different things to get fake votes. They don't want to get real votes. That's why the Save America Act has to pass, and we have to work on that. So we're going to see where that goes. But the debate the other day was really interesting when the Democrats were all pretty much saying the same thing, which was get rid of Trump, okay? And Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco was also saying they had ideas, they had plans, they had policies they're going to put into play if either one of them get elected. And that's going to turn California around, or start to turn California around. We have to. The 5th largest economy in the world. We have to do something here, folks. And maybe some other leadership, different leadership, Republican leadership, will do just the trick. So anyway, well, this is a coffee break with Jimmy, and we have to do something about this. We have to do something about this. So anyhow, press the like button and share and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time on Coffee Break with Jimmy.